They're alive.
Yeah, they're alive. Like last session, Legacy went to put a backdoor in the security program at the headquarters and got a rundown of what she could discover about the inside of the building. For Lockhart specifically, because Lockhart would have more contacts than she does even. And that went off without too much of a hitch. Kind of freaked out Marcus's boss just a little bit, but it's fine. And then we went back to the apartment, and Kaya started putting the collection of Larrys into mini Larrys. And they are no longer the Larrys. They have their own names. And each one is fucked in a different way, except for the very first one, who just knows nothing.
That would be Leo, who is the youngest. George, well, Leo and George both seem relatively unharmed / harmless because of the fact that they don't know a lot, but they're like early version of Larry.
Yeah, they're the equivalent of like two toddlers, where one had access to PBS Kids and the other did not.
Yeah.
And then the next one, George, I think.
Yes, George. Leo, the youngest, George, who is a week old, and then Theodore, who's a month old.
Okay, so it's Leo and George then are the two that are like standard. Like they're fine. They have a lot to learn. Theo's the one that has been force fed everything there is to know statistically and like scientifically about Adam's ward and nothing else, and was apparently learning about bee pollination last time we checked in with him.
Yes.
Robin.
And then the next one, Robin. Yeah.
Yeah. Robin thinks she's a human, or like doesn't think she's a human, but conceptualizes very closely and is thus very distressed. And Kaya's going to make her legs.
Gonna make her little crawly boys so that she can walk around.
Yes.
So really quick,
she is currently duct taped to a skateboard.
I wouldn't say duct tape. I think more like seat belted in.
Whoop.
And by that I mean it's probably just like a spare wire that was just tied.
Yeah.
But it's so much more entertaining to imagine just like this like long piece of scotch tape sticking her to this rolling contraption.
Yes, and we left off right before you had, just after you had decided on a name, but right before you had decided on turning them on or not. The one that has been learning for approximately 100 digital years, whatever that means.
Oh no, we turned that son of a bitch on.
Yeah, we turned it on. You left us on a cliffhanger of it waking up. And that's the one that has been running for a fucking long time, but has been being fed packets of history information.
Yes, been fed like bits of historical information from predominantly Western Europe. Let me see here.
Fucking coming out like the stereotypical like cis dude, like cis white dude,
Roman
like,
Empire.
obsessed with Roman Empire.
Yeah. Comes out just Mr. Amy on steroids.
First things first, I need to ask for a roll from Iris.
Oh.
Just
Okay.
roll me 2d6.
Because
Okay.
Lockhart has been fucking texting Bengetti. What the fuck did you do, sir?
Mm-hmm. And then roll me 2d6 one more time.
Okay.
Okay. Now, those will not come into play quite yet, but
Okay.
let me get some. You know what? This is fine. This is fine music. This kind of conveys the atmosphere. So, you have named this drone Casey. Now, you turned them on, and the first thing you notice is that there is no immediate response. Whereas with the other Larrys, it was like almost like instant from flip on to some level of feedback, like either a screen turned on or their face turned on, or there was like movement or motion or something, some sort of tangible like thing, you know. However, with this one, is stock still, dark.
You flip the switch, right?
Hmm?
You flip the switch, right?
Yeah. You guys gonna lean in, check, see if she flipped the switch.
You lean in and check, and it is powered on. What do you do?
I'm gonna turn my fucking notification volume down. That's what I'm gonna fucking do.
See, the thing
It's
is,
loud.
it's just like Iris has forgotten for 2 years that she's constantly muted. Every session, within the first 15 minutes, you get in an argument with your notifications.
Well, listen, okay, I forget I have it on a high volume, and then I have it next to my mic, and I just wince because I'm just like, oh no, that's right next to my mic. But okay, you said the switch is flipped on, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, she's going to wave in front, see if any of the sensors are on at least. She's gonna start troubleshooting.
So, as you start,
Like,
basically going through the standard procedure of troubleshooting for a drone, you. Hold on, I need to look up a term really quick.
Fucking things won't come out speaking German or some shit.
There we go. Yes. So, are you holding the drone and like moving it around, or are you kind of troubleshooting while it's just sitting still?
While it's sitting still, because I feel like if there's something wrong, is because she just put more delicate parts into these things. So I imagine she's not going to start like picking it up and like shaking it around a lot. So I imagine it'd be on the table, and then she like I don't know, starts troubleshooting.
Okay. So after about a minute or so, Larry has gone back over with Leo and George to, babysit them. Theodore has sat down next to Robin, and he's just kind of vibing there. And there's no physical tilting of the head, obviously, but you get that sort of inclination, as Robin says,
Is it are they broken?
Is she talking to us?
yes.
Is she seeming to imply the one they're trying to turn on, or Theodore?
Theodore?
Trying to see, curious if the one that you're trying to turn on is broken.
Okay.
Okay. Kaya just shrugs. Like, I don't know. It shouldn't be. But I'm trying to figure that out now. Man, she pulls out a fucking multi-reader.
As you pull out a multi-reader and just various implements to check whether it's actually properly working. You, after a quick check on your readers and dials, it by all accounts is on and working. And just as you kind of make that assessment and you take a step back and not physically but kind of put your hand to your chin and have a moment to think and kind of realize, like, okay, if everything's working, maybe there's something internal going on with whomever is inside. And as you're kind of having this thought, there is just, when you turn on a TV or like an old TV, if you were to turn on an old TV and the screen is like black, but it's not off. You can tell when there's the difference between a program that is showing a black screen and a TV that is off.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you get the latter. You get a TV that is showing a black screen as the little face diodes light up just a little bit, just enough to let you know that there's light on. And you hear very, very just barely above a whisper,
Where am I?
Oh shit. Hi. So, you're at Mine and Legs' apartment. I'm Kaya, by the way. It's Legs, that's Block. Got all the others over there too.
Is this a dream?
No.
We got you in a body now. Well, I guess you could call it a body. We got you in a working, moving apparatus.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I use an electromagnetic thing so you can hover and move if you want. You've also got fine manipulators for arms so you can, move to and interact with shit.
Why?
Because I feel like you should, have a physical form so that, you can interact with the world.
I don't hear anything. There's no noise.
You talk about
But I'm awake.
You talking about the data that been streaming into you?
All of that information. Everything.
Yeah, we stopped all of that to give you a break and got you out of there. So you're only gonna be processing and intaking whatever's actually around you, and not just an endless data stream, like I said.
Well, in processing what you would like to process.
Oh yeah, that too.
Are you all flesh and blood humans?
Yeah,
Mostly.
yeah, mostly.
Not a simulation.
Nope.
There's a long, protracted silence, and the silence is broken next by Robin, who speaks up and says,
Are they gonna be okay?
I don't know. We are going to work on getting them there if they are not currently okay.
It's gonna be a process. Anyway, do you already got a name, or can I call you Casey?
I never had a name. I know 10,000 names, but I never had one. I never needed one. I couldn't talk to people. What was the point in having a name?
Well, now you can. You can talk to, all of us. So, do you want a name? Because, I thought of this one, and she, holds up the little name tag.
Do you want something from me?
No.
What is out there?
You might need to be a little bit more specific than that. Out there is very large and very vague.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I?
Did you get a download
Didn't
on
have-
Grand Cross?
A space station?
We are
I
on
know.
said space station.
I know some of it. I didn't have a where before. like sitting in a room where I could see everything but couldn't go anywhere. But I wasn't sitting either.
Yeah. We didn't quite know what was going on with you. Sorry about that. But now you have a body of sorts. You have a where, you have a when, you have a way of moving around and interacting if you would like, and you have a name if you want it. Or you can choose a different name if you would like.
Yeah, I got more stickers.
Just can't have any of our names.
What do I do with the name?
Introduce
I'm
yourself
not-
to people.
Hmm.
What the fuck was that?
That was Claire saying
Claire.
hi to Rolo with the voice mod on. Ah.
So, there's another like long pause, almost like Casey is having trouble figuring out like what to do. Larry comes over at the sound of the new voice and will float nearby and say, "Is awake?"
Yeah, awake and confused.
Well, to be expected, a lot of changes, a lot of things to get used to.
From below you, you hear Robin say,
I'm worried. They seem distant.
Well, it makes sense, to be fully honest with you. Casey or not Casey, however they want to be called. They were running in the program a very long time. A lot longer than you.
Robin just looks down and there's a solemn nod, like they understand. But there's just some kind of energy of like a desire to help, but being unable to. And Casey says again,
What is real? Is what you all are real? Was I real before now?
Legacy just lets out a whistle and kind of sits back on the couch a little bit more. And we just dove into like fucking senior level AI philosophy.
Oh no. I'm too dumb for this. Kaya opens and closes her mouth. The want and need to say, yeah, everything here is real. Yeah, you were real is there. But she just turns to Legacy of just like... just very much like, do I say yes? Do I say no? I don't... am I gonna fuck them up even more if I say one or the other? Like, I don't know if it's possible to fuck them up even more, but I feel like I can manage it. Like, that's what's in her eyes right now.
Legacy just like reaches over, like pats Kaya's knee, and like stares at this bot for a second before leaning forward again. We will come back around to that question. Can I ask you a question or two first, so maybe you can figure that question out yourself?
If you ask, I can try to answer.
Well,
This is strange. I've not had a conversation, but I've read conversations.
Well, natural. You're doing great.
yeah. Did you, in all of the things that you learned, did you learn about philosophers?
Some philosophers.
And you understand, or, well, did you learn about what they thought, or just that they existed?
I learned I was told. I don't know if I was told anything. Where did I get all of that information? Is it all in me now?
It's worth noting that as they are talking, there is no facial expression. The screen is still registering as like being like off, quote unquote. And they're not like moving around or floating or anything like that. They are stationary.
Legacy just kind of tilts her head. Yeah, well, if you know it, it is inside of you. Do you know what you are technically?
I am thoughts.
Do you know that you are in a robotic drone body?
I feel things. If this is what it means to feel things. I've only ever read about feeling things, or learned about them. But what is learning, or experiencing?
Joseph, I swear to God, if you make me go back to all the fucking philosophy that I have had, I will pull that out of my ass, and you will regret it.
I'm drinking my tea like Kermit.
I have a fucking master's degree in this shit, sir.
Alright, so what I'm hearing is this is Legacy's drone.
This is the ultimate rubber duck.
Yeah, like...
And Legacy, he just kind of like he raises a hand and kind of rubs it over her face and sighs really deeply. This one's gonna be fine. He's just gonna take a while. He's kind of, honestly, he's kind of like some of the dudes I met in my AI ethics class that were high all the time. They sounded like this.
Kaya just like runs like a hand like through her hair, getting caught on like the tie of her ponytail. Like, cool. I guess is that a good thing? Or, I mean, you've talked so much shit about him over the years, so like,
It's...
I'm just gonna take that as a good sign.
She just kind of like head side to side in that like yeah gesture, and will
Cool.
lean forward a little bit more, and like kind of staring at this program. Like, all right, his sensors are working, right, Kaya?
Yeah, no, he's fully functional, fully operational.
She nods.
Yeah, no, he's
Casey.
good
I'm gonna call you Casey because you've not given us anything else to call you. Can I pick you up?
You can pick up the vessel.
And she just very carefully, 2 or 3 fingers, picks him up. Puts him in her palm.
Size of a cupcake. Or an orange. Depends on how healthy you are, what you can imagine better.
You see the room around you. You see all our wonderful oil and tire track stained floor.
Hey.
Screens and everything. You see your siblings entertaining themselves in various ways. She has like gestures towards the others, kind of like, I imagine for the first time clocking in that like, oh, we've moved on to like beehive creation on one of the screens.
How honey is made. How bees have 2 stomachs.
I see. I don't know how I see, but I see now.
You see,
I think.
Because you are now in the drone body that I mentioned before. Very lightly taps the top of it. Same as the rest of them.
I don't feel anything. But I feel like extensions from my arms or my legs. I don't understand. Like driving a car, but I don't have a steering wheel.
Steering wheel is your thoughts, right, Larry?
Larry buzzes over. Well, he doesn't buzz, but he floats over and like holds up his little manipulators and just goes, "Yes. Think up." And Casey is motionless.
Disconnected. Plugged in, but unplugged at the same time.
I think that.
Am I the first, Casey?
Yes, in a way. You and your siblings all come from the same base code. Like siblings of humans all come from the same genetic pool. But every one of you has different experience, so each one of you is the first of whatever you are.
Larry jabs a manipulator at the screen. Brother. And then points to himself and says, brother. And still, Casey remains silent.
I don't know. I don't know how to have a self. I've been so long without one.
Well, you'll figure it out as we go along. Humans don't know how to have self until they're like, what, 3 or 4? So,
Robin on the ground.
Will I have legs that I can use before then?
I imagine if Kaya has anything to say about it, you will have legs before the end of the week.
She nods, very happy with that answer.
Yeah. And Kaya stands up and she just like nods and she's like, yeah, I've already got a couple of designs in mind. Just gotta get them on a paper and I could show you them and then we could start working on them soon. So probably the end of the week's probably more likely. At most 2 weeks. That's like maximum. And
Surprised you wouldn't have a prototype by the end of the night.
probably.
She's not going to because she does still need to sleep.
Hey, look, I'll be fine. All right. She gonna walk around with it. She gonna
Nope. You are not going to just be fine in hand wave. Like you can have she's not stopping Kaya from walking. She's like she's still talking. Like no, you can you're not just gonna fucking hand wave that you're gonna be fine. Fucking bitched out Lockhart until she like took a break. We'll just have Lockhart punch you out if you try to stay awake too long.
Theodore, in the middle of or just at the tail end of your thought, Theodore speaks up and says,
there are anywhere from 1.04 billion legs to 1.62 billion legs on Grand Cross.
Huh, cool. More you know. And, you know what? Yeah, sure. We'll, save the prototype for, tomorrow, probably. Then at least, probably just the base design tonight of it, at least.
Robin nods and seems both reassured by your, resoluteness and a little unnerved by Theodore's count of legs.
Yeah. So...
Larry points to you, Kaya, and says, it's because you said legs.
Well, yeah.
Theodore likes saying things that Theodore knows.
Huh. Same.
6% of people on Grand Cross are named Theodore.
Well, it's a good name. But, legs, you think you, got this real quick?
Got this or got this? And she, gestures towards all of them, or then gestures towards Casey.
Yeah.
Just kind of, looks over at all of the, little mini robots, and then looks back towards Kaya. Well, I can safely say that I can't fuck any of them up any worse than they already are, so yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna... I wanna, run out real quick.
Lockhart, make
I'll
sure she doesn't
be
kill anybody.
back. Look, no, it's fine, alright? I'm kind of feeling for, like, ice cream all of a sudden, so... Yeah, I'll go pick some up at, like, the corner store.
Pointedly
I'll be
at
back.
Lockhart.
Yeah, Kaya's grabbed her jacket. She's out the door.
Lockhart's already standing up.
As like on your way out, Kaya and Lockhart, you hear from behind you, like Legacy. You can see who says it, but it's Leo, George, and Larry all simultaneously.
Fuck him up.
And then there's just this
no.
like you get this like you catch the like very first start of like Legacy laughing as the door closes.
Yeah. I imagine that Kaya grabbed her jacket and her keys on the way out, and like in the hallway as she's walking away, she's putting on her jacket.
And where exactly do you think you're going?
I imagine Kaya jumps. She didn't actually think Lockhart was gonna come.
But they reach the elevator, she's standing behind her, like...
Shit! Jesus fucking Christ. I told you, the corner store, like, lock or two down.
And you needed your keys for that.
Well, I gotta get back in the house. And...
How much bullshit? Is she bullshitting here?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so easy to read. Kaya is a shit fucking liar. She's trying to bullshit a little bit of like... I feel like she gives up. Because I feel like Lockhart does not look impressed.
Nope. Not at all. She's just silently waiting.
Yeah, I need to get back into the house because I installed a self-locking doorknob, so it's not going to stay unlocked. And so the keys are in Look, I think driving would help right now. Just like a little. And, ice cream on the way.
So you don't have any particular place in mind, good.
I mean, there was that ice cream spot, like, a bit away, I was thinking of, because, I mean, I like that one. But I was mostly thinking about the drive,
Lockhart will kind of be silent for a moment or two and just kind of look Kaya over. How is she physically right now?
As in her condition, or like...
Yeah, like, what are any of her tics, like, showing?
Body
is she
language.
Agitated? Is she stressed?
her body language. Gotcha.
Thank you.
She is... I imagine she keeps, like, running a hand through her hair. And as if... I imagine that Kaya has this, like, one lock of hair that just never, stays behind her ear. So to someone who knows her pretty well, one of her, like, tics is her just constantly pushing it back behind her ear. Because it'll, like, fall out after a few seconds of her moving. Usually she's fine with it, but when she's, like, stressed, that's when she starts tucking it, because it's bothering her all of a sudden. So she's doing that as they're just waiting for the elevator. And she's... I don't know, her stance isn't as calm as it usually is. It's a little tense, especially in the shoulders. And there's this slight, like, shaking of her leg, of, like, bouncing on her heel a little bit. So she's a bit stressed, she's anxious. She wants to get out of here. She wants to just decompress a bit.
Lockhart will wait until the elevator arrives and they are on the elevator.
Oh, she comes on the elevator. I imagine the silence. Kaya just thought that Lockhart was just walking her to the elevator. So elevator dings. She's like, okay, cool. She goes. As she's about to turn to say bye, Lockhart steps in and she's like, oh, okay.
Yep. You're trapped the next, 20 seconds.
Does she break the silence at all?
Yeah, she's going to.
Okay.
She's just waiting until there was a no escape option, essentially.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I'm assuming you want ice cream?
How are you handling all of that? Waving your hand up, to the ceiling of the elevator kind of thing.
I don't know if we got, a rubric for this shit, because I don't think it's ever really happened before, so I don't really know how I'm doing. I'm just doing and trying, and it was a lot, and I'm just want to, get some fresh air. I know Legs knows what she's doing. So, I figured it'd be cool for me to just take a $5.
Do you want the company? Or would you prefer to be alone?
No, it'd be appreciated.
What would be appreciated? I don't know if you cut out or what.
The company.
Oh, okay. She'll just nod. I don't think Lockhart's going to push much more than that. She's more going to let Kaya take the reins at that point.
Okay. Well, I imagine Kai doesn't really say anything after that. She's just very unusually quiet. Or even more so than usual. Because she's not necessarily a chatterbox. But I imagine that, she makes very quiet remarks about shit. But I imagine it's just silent. And she's just gonna walk over to her bike. Because that was her plan, to go on a little drive, stop and get ice cream, clear her head, come back, bring something for Legacy 2.
Fucking better.
What's Legacy's favorite flavor?
The most chocolate of chocolate that you can find.
Ultra double fudge. Got it. Double chocolate. With, dark chocolate chips. Got it.
Don't forget the brownies. It has to have brownie in it.
Oh, yeah. She's gonna just start walking to her bike, and she's gonna stop, and she's gonna turn to Lockhart. She's like, okay, so, do you want me to, what?
Lockhart will hold her keys out to her car. Your choice.
I'd prefer to drive, honestly. And, I'd prefer my bike, because that's, my bike, and I like driving it. But, I mean, it's also a bike. So, probably not the best for ice cream transport.
Well, you get a backpack now.
Is she trying to say, like, it's not meant for both of us to be riding, essentially?
No, it's just Kaya being really awkward. Because she wants to ride her bike. Because that's her bike, that's what she's familiar with.
Okay, then I got this.
Yeah, but she's like... yeah, she's just awkward about it.
Well, do you want the company or not?
Well, yeah, I do, but I don't... I mean...
Why are you hesitating?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Eyebrow raise?
We're just gonna take the bike. All right, look, let's go. Let's just get driving. Let's go. She's just gonna fucking get on the bike and start it because she's just like I'm. Kaya is just kicking herself of just. She's talking herself into a hole and she doesn't know how to stop. Every word out of her mouth is another like shovel of dirt out of this hole she's digging.
I have to BRB real quick.
Okay, we can flash. I'd like to see more of Legacy talk with the drones, honestly. A little brief intermission while Kaya just like stops herself from hyperventilating because of social awkwardness. Flashback. Legacy is with the drones unsupervised.
Larry has a good hold on 2 of them. He is also learning about bees.
Like 2.5. Depends on if Theo's paying attention or not.
Theo, I was gonna say Theo actually doesn't know a lot about bees because his knowledge about Adam's ward comes with the fact that he knows there are no bees on the station. Plants are artificially pollinated.
See.
So there's no organic bees. He doesn't know bee facts, so he's learning.
Yeah, Theo's just the neurospicy that has like the one super specific special interest. That's like fine learning about all this other shit, but the ear is out for if there's anything that he can like fucking info dump his special interest in the other conversations that are going
on. I'll give you this one. So go ahead and roll me a clever check, and let me think. Do you have? I mean, Legacy studied this in school.
Yeah, it was a thing that we talked about her doing, but I've not gotten any specialties specifically relating to it.
I'll say you can have a generic specialty in AI intelligence or artificial philosophy. I think that'll work. And that will be your gift. Like Kaya has given the +1 gift of motorcycle usage to Lockhart. And I don't know if I ever talked with you about this out loud, Amy, because like my ability to retain information that is inside my head and outside my head is dubious at best. But your short fuse was turned back into motorcycling, but yes. you can have short fuse as a separate skill, but you can rename it to like
fuck him up.
Yeah, you know what? You can just call it fuck it up. You have a +2 generic specialty in fuck it up.
Okay.
Fuck shit up.
Fuck shit up or fuck it up?
Fuck shit up.
Fuck shit up. Got it.
For when Kaya gets particularly spacey. It's particularly cranky.
Just get the Would that stack with her +2 to brawling? Or is
Only
that
when she's
separate?
No.
only when she's
they're
cranky.
Got it.
Well, I will say only when you are like emotionally distraught. You can put a caveat on there that Joe said, if I am emotionally distraught, you can put fuck shit up with your +2 brawling bonus.
All right. It is emotionally.
But Legacy, you can have a generic specialty or artificial philosophy. Which will cover like your ability to talk to the ethics of AI and everything, as well as like the ethics of cyberware and such. Because I think I would figure that that sort of realm also, or Legacy also has some knowledge about that, because it would kind of fit with her vibe of being like a cybernetics person.
Okay, you said you want me to roll that?
Make me a clever check. Yes, with your artificial ethics or philosophy.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 is good enough. You, without having to parse through the whys and whys and whys that come out of Casey's mouth, you can glean two things. Two things from Casey and one thing from Theodore. So, two things from Casey. Casey does have an idea of self. They do have an understanding and a concept of how they envision what they are. It is difficult for them to reach, but they can. It's there. It doesn't quite agree with the form that they are in, though.
So it's
hence
similar...
the driving a car but no steering wheel thing.
So it's kind of more similar to... Okay. Again, philosophy, like, person here, so I'm having to re-parse this out. So they have a vague understanding of their consciousness and an idea of what their physical self is supposed to be?
Wait, sorry, repeat that. I read part of a sentence as you said that and just completely negated both in my head. Okay, repeat what you just said.
So like they understand, like have like a concept of their own consciousness and an idea of what like their physical form is supposed to be? Or just one or the other?
The first one. So yeah, they have a concept of their consciousness and how they would be represented physically.
So it's
it is similar to Robin.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, where Robin's like in their head, Robin is like, I should have legs. And it's hard for her to kind of express that without like in exactly as saying I wish I had legs, because they didn't have a physical form before. And from what you can gather, Casey is very much the same way. Casey has a very firm understanding of like, I should look a certain way and I should be a certain way, and their current idea does not line up with the drone body at all, which makes controlling it very, very difficult. And perceiving from it to them appears as though they are more of a passenger in a car than a person in a body. Which for like you can tell that there is uncomfortableness, but not so much that they are like panicking, because they're not in pain. Yeah, like they can deal with it. They're like, something's wrong, but I'm okay. I'm just uncomfortable and would like to wiggle out of it. You can also gather that Theodore, in a similar way, had some sense of self, but Theodore's is buried beneath all of the factoids. Theodore has the least developed sense of self, similar to, like, Theodore and Leo and George all have about the same concept of gender or physicality or anything. It's just that Theodore has had a month learning lesson on absorbing factoids.
Okay. And what was the second thing about Casey?
Casey, like, Casey more like their concept of self is not aligned with being a drone. So where Robin is like, okay, I'm a drone, I kind of understand what that means, but I should have legs. Casey, you haven't said this, but like explaining to Casey, like, yeah, you're a drone. Casey's like, no, that's wrong.
So what?
There's more of a disconnect.
What Legacy is going to end up doing is she's going to just, like, because she wants to help Theo too, but Theo is not in as dire straits as Robin and Casey are at the moment for his comfort, as far as she can tell. He can wait a couple days. Or at least until there are other people to hand off drones to.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got to have, like, Robin and Casey just, like, on one end of the table, and she's just gonna have, like, two tabs open and projected, essentially, of trying to cycle through pictures of what she would assume are semi-achievable kind of blueprints for drones and for robots, that she thinks that at the very least it would give Kaya some, like, okay, here's a starting point. Like, what about this one? What about this one? What do you like on this one, and what do you not like? Because you kind of pause there. I think you like it to some extent. It's fucking Pinterest reference boards.
So, and you're showing these to both Casey and Robin?
Yeah, I imagine, like, she's got, like, one, like, projection kind of more towards Robin and one towards Casey. And fuck it, if Theo turns around and wants to participate, he can, but he has to choose between Pinterest reference boards and whatever the fuck the other two are watching currently.
They have moved on to a documentary about ant colonies. Currently having fun with ant colonies. And they're just gonna go through the whole gauntlet of early 2000s Animal Planet, like The Most Extreme and shit like that. They're gonna watch every episode of The Most Extreme.
My boy, that's my favorite show growing up as a kid.
Right?
That show is the reason why I am who I am today.
So what that means is now one of them has to morph into, like, feral child Amy, because you're just feeding them feral child Amy shows.
Oh, they also have to watch Shark Week?
Shark Week.
Yes!
But for Robin and Casey, for Robin, the more standard human shape is close to what both Casey and Robin kind of approximate to. The more like if you were to show them some sort of android or drone that was constructed like anything that looked like one of those wooden art models, just basic 2 arms, 2 legs, head, torso, stomach, pelvis, or abdomen, they would feel more like, yeah, that one looks good. With minor details for each of them, where Robin imagines herself to be like taller. Casey imagines himself to be shorter. But you could easily find some either like one blueprint or a collection of blueprints where like you flip through it and it's like, how do you feel about this? And they're like, well, I like the arms, or I like the legs, or I like this part. And then you like take that part or everything that is related to it and then just circle like arms on this one, legs on this one.
Pretty much what she's doing.
Yeah.
Just, if it's keeping them entertained and keeping them distracted from spiraling in their own unique ways.
It is a bit hit and miss with Casey, where Casey flows in and out of being very, very responsive and being kind of like surprised. Because every so often you get one of these from Casey where it's,
what? Where am I? Oh, I'm still here. I feel like I just woke up.
And Robin will bring them up to speed, because Robin is more quote-unquote present. But every so often with Casey, you get that just woke up from a dream sort of instant. But they do remember. And
she'll also, I think,
Robin...
between Robin, because Robin is handling her manipulators fine.
Yes, she moves her arms and everything perfectly normally.
Between Robin and occasional input from Larry, she's going to try really hard to at least get Casey using his manipulators too, while Kaya is out. Because that's the closest thing to human on these things.
Mm-hmm. So, with Casey, you can make me another check with the same bonuses you just did. One more time. So with a little bit of coaxing, I will give you, Aya, roll me 1d6 plus your drone use.
Was that to me?
Yes.
It's gonna be a 8.
8. So with a little bit of coaxing, from both you and Robin, Casey, you see the screen change tint. You don't see a face. You see different shades of gray, and then white, and then gray, black, gray, white, black, like it's registering something. But there's no manipulator movement.
We'll circle back around to it.
Yeah, you hear, like, it's not really like the effort, like the grunts and sighs of effort, so much as you can feel like the metaphorical head shake of like, I can't, it won't work.
I mean, I imagine that, like, for, like, to be clear, Legacy would not, like, sit there and, like, okay, move your manipulators now. She's just, like, in amongst everything, like, occasionally, like, poke and prod of, like, hey, have you tried this yet? Have you thought about it like this? Like, passive, because she saw how freaked out Robin got, and so concentrating on Casey, who's not completely there, and trying to force him, like, with all the focus on him, was a little bit more of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, that's probably not the best idea. But we'll continue to just, like, on occasion, like, well, I've been thinking, like, what if you tried this way instead? And then go back to reference board.
As, like, over the course of time of just, like, coaxing and trying to be encouraging, there's one more instant of Casey waking out of that dream state. And it's very jarring because of the fact that Casey doesn't move or emote on the face of the drone. It's just general silence and then surprise. And it's like it catches Robin off guard too, because of the fact that, like, Robin has just as much input as you from him. And it's difficult to tell if he's quote unquote looking at you or not. But you can get more of a sensation of it if you're, well, while looking and watching the screen, you can see it change shades or tint different colors if there's, like, more thought or activity going on. But he just can't seem to get the manipulators to move.
Yep, the iris is back.
Iris?
Or at least she was.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Forgiven.
Hello.
So, car ride, huh? Or not car ride, motorcycle ride.
Are we transitioning back over there?
Is that? I don't know. I heard my name, so I assumed we were.
Yeah, I mean, freaking Legacy is on mission. She's not doing much else at the moment. She got left with 5 newborns, okay?
She was entrusted. I mean, Larry's helping.
Larry is
Larry
helping.
He is helping.
Larry can also only do so much, and Larry can handle 3 of them. Larry can't handle Robin and Casey.
Yeah, so to technically...
I feel like they would panic and Larry would panic, and then it would just all go to hell.
Yeah, she was entrusted with Kaya's children. Ultimate form of trust, honestly.
Oh, that's another thing. She's gonna make sure to train all of them in this moment to call Kaya Mom.
Larry helps. He very much explains, like, yeah, this is Legacy. Legacy is very nice and very irresponsible. And this is, and he would like explain with a picture of Kaya, like, and this is Mom. And then this is Lockhart. But we just call her Locke. And like he explains the interconnected group of the party with
Diagram.
yeah, like this is Marcus. She belongs to Legacy. Or he belongs to Legacy. This is Cosmic. Cosmic is very good at rock, paper, scissors.
Theodore raises up a little tiny hand. What is rock, paper, scissors?
Theodore raises up a hand. There are 4,296 pounds of paper on Adam's ward right now.
I'm getting these numbers, Joe.
I'm making them up.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Right. Getting them all up to speed. Kaya's gonna walk in. If one of them calls her mom, she is going to die internally.
All of them are going to call her mom. All of them. The only one that won't call her mom to her face is Larry. But he calls her mom behind her back all the time.
Wait, does he?
Yes. Have you not noticed that every time Kaya is not paying attention and it's Legacy and Larry, it's Mom?
I've always heard Legacy call her mom. I don't think I've ever caught like Larry repeating it.
Man, he's been doing that since he learned how to speak fluently.
Okay. I guess my brain just like processed it out. Or I just forgot.
That's the Kaya part of your brain refusing to hear it.
Okay. So, you know what? Guess who's not getting ice cream?
Fuck you, you don't know what's happening.
Fuck, you're right. Kai doesn't know what's happening.
Ah, shit.
But, but I imagine that they're on Kaya's bike. Iris?
Yeah.
Don't know where else they'd be.
Okay. I thought you wanted to back away for a second because that's all you needed. I was like, no!
Oh, no. I just muted because I was looking for something.
Okay. And I don't remember if I, like, cleared this with you, Joe, but I know that, like, after the fucking space race on the hyperlane, Kaya put fucking comms in the helmets.
Yes,
Okay.
that is true.
Okay.
They're short range, but so they won't go like it's not like a cell phone, but you can talk to the person who's riding behind you.
Okay. Cause I feel like part of the shit that fucked her up the most was the silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like, I don't like that. I don't like that. So immediately comms. So I imagine she's driving. She's not racing, you know, but she's driving at like a normal speed, very much like feeling the bike and leaning into the gentle turns as she just drives and meanders through the streets. Obviously obeying traffic laws. However, she's got this loose destination of an ice cream shop she's been to a bunch. But she's not going directly there. She's like zigzagging. She's taking the long way. It's about the journey, not the destination. And I imagine that, like, while they're, like, stopped at, like, a red light, that's when she just... Because I imagine Lockhart is silent.
For the most part, yeah. Oh my god, I'm getting a phone call.
Fucking...
Tell him to fuck off. You'll call him back
Yeah,
later.
tell him to fuck off. Tell them it's RP times.
Oh yeah, hello. Yeah, can you fucking die? Thank you. Never talk to me or my son ever again.
my god. So, Joe, have you seen any of Our Flag Means Death?
No, I have not.
I would say you need to watch it. I don't know if it's necessarily directly up your alley. It's a Taika Waititi show, so like the same shit as like what we do in the shadows and everything. Very specific brand of humor, but it's about pirates, gay pirates.
Ooh.
It's a weird comedy retelling of Blackbeard and Stede Bonnet. And for some reason, that accent that you just did made me think of that show so hard. Like, that sounds like some shit that would come out of somebody's mouth on that show.
Okay, sorry about that. I ended it as quickly as I could.
It's good.
But yeah,
It's all good.
Lockhart's pretty much silent. Like, she'll comment on things if Kaya's having small talk, but like, kind of just trying to be there for Kaya right now. Like, she's not going to push Kaya into talking, but she's not just gonna like stonewall her, you know?
Mm.
They're not talking about Lockhart, so Lockhart is willing to talk.
Okay, I probably have a couple comments of just like hold on, this is gonna be like a tight turn. And little small things like that. But I feel like after like 5 or 10 minutes, she's gotten comfortable enough after a bit of driving that like once they pull up to a stop at a red light, she just kind of like stops and like takes like a deep breath. Hey, Loxel, I got a question for you. So, what are your thoughts on all of this? Like not like all of this, but just what's going on tonight.
Well, it is a lot to take in. And I don't like imagining what they have been put through exactly.
Yeah, neither do I.
It also bothers me that Johan's the one that put them through that.
Yep. He is.
But I can also imagine what they put him through.
Yeah, you got a point. Just I feel like I'm kind of worried I'm going to make it worse somehow.
How so?
Well, I don't know how to help with all of the. Like, I know I created them, but that doesn't mean I like know how to help them realize what they are and how to, you know, integrate them into having a sorta normal life. Because that's what I want them to have. To just not be like test machines just for fucking research. Just to not just machines, Locke.
That is something I've come to realize. But you've already given them their own bodies. And as much as you don't like being called mother, what parent knows how to raise a child until they do it?
Well, should I call my parents for advice?
It might be helpful.
Were you serious?
Fred. They might not be able to help with the them being built rather than born. But I'm sure they'd have some kind of advice.
They're
I mean, they raised you.
yeah, but that's a little complicated. It's fine. It's just there's a difference between raising a Kaya versus, you know, a bunch of super intelligent drones who went through a lot.
Well, you. Let me rephrase. Super intelligent drones, but also a super intelligent girl.
Okay, I see what you're getting at, but like there's a difference, you know. It would probably take a bit of time for both of them to realize that they're not, you know, glorified Roombas. I mean, unless that's what they want to be, you know. I'm not gonna stop them.
How long did it take Larry to be where he's at now?
Few months. I mean, you were there. You like. Oh, sorry.
And some of them are already more advanced.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them consider themselves glorified Roombas.
Well, yeah, I know. I was talking more so like my parents, and they're not all that technically savvy.
Like I said, it's not a one-to-one.
Yeah, I know. I just. You're right. I should call them a bit, ask about it. Probably not let them know exactly, because then they're gonna have a lot of fucking questions.
Just say you're babysitting for some friends.
Look, last time I babysat, I got grounded.
You
But
feel Lockhart kind of shift a bit as if she laughed silently.
yeah, took a little kid to McDonald's, and his mom blew a fucking gasket because I took him on my bike without telling anyone. So, I mean, I didn't realize what was so, like, the biggest deal. Everything was perfectly safe. We went maybe half a mile at most. But, yeah, I'll probably tell him I'm babysitting. And no pictures. I still don't know if do we even talk to Getty? Tell him about this? I don't know if I could talk to him without yelling at him.
That time would be best, yeah.
Are you gonna tell him?
I haven't told him yet. But with the line of questioning I left him, I don't think that.
What'd you ask him?
More about exactly what types of tests he ran.
Yeah, he might put 2 and 2 together. That's like a might.
I also may have mentioned you may be upset with him, but
Maybe what?
upset with him.
Oh, cool. I mean, like, you're not wrong.
To be fair, I'm also upset with him.
You are?
Nod of the head. People aren't just tools, and although they may have the bodies of drones, they most definitely are people.
Yeah. So, like, on one hand, I want to take a detour. On the other, I don't want to go anywhere fucking near there. So, you know what? You're right. Time's probably good.
You'll have to see him again eventually.
Well, yeah, but hopefully by then it's not as fresh, it's not as jarring. So, are you going back there, like, tonight, or?
I hadn't really thought that far.
Because, like, I don't want to, like, assume you also don't want to see him right now. Because, I mean, I think you said that, but you might have. You know what? No, hold on. Just, Legs would probably be cool with you chilling at ours for the night. Because, I mean, we do got the space. And, I mean, we're all, friends. So, I mean, obviously you don't have to, you just, it's an option. Unless you want to go back there tonight, then, like, you could, I'm not going to stop you. I mean, it is getting late, but, I mean, it's fine. You've driven this late before, and you can drive. Yeah, I know you can drive. It's just, you can stay the night if you want. That's, invitation. I'm sure Legs is cool with it. And if not, we can just, text her once we, stop for the ice cream. We'll get her, like, two boxes of it. I don't know. Are you still, is the comm still on?
Lockhart was silent, but she just responds with, "Thank you for the offer. I think I will set if that's alright."
Yeah, that's cool. It's gotta, let Legs know probably when we get inside the place, send her a text or something. As long as you're also cool with, the drones being a thing. Because they're there, and that's where they live. Because that's where I live. You know that already. So how much ice cream are you gonna be getting anyway? Because, like, I got, like, a little, like, portable backpack. I've got, like, tucked in a little cargo thing under, so, like, probably fit, like, a few, like, boxes of it. Little self-serve ones, or, like, a couple of big bins.
I don't need much.
Okay, so much is relative.
Just the distant
not like a
sound of a
concrete
shovel
number.
digging.
She's just digging.
How about when I get there, I'll pick out my own item?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have the green. Fuck, what's it called?
Pistachio.
Yeah, the green one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got it. So we could just get some whatever not much is. It'll fit in the bag. Don't worry. Unless, like, much is, like, a lot.
Lockhart will be quiet for the time being.
Oh, please don't,
What?
because then she's just gonna keep digging until you stop her.
Yep. Yes.
How long has the light been green?
Probably a good, like, 10 seconds.
You do realize we can go now, right?
Fuck. Okay, yeah. She goes. So we're thinking about ice cream. And, like, how much I could theoretically fit into the bag, because it's like 15 inch by 14 inch. You know what? I'm not going to do the math right now. I don't really think you want to hear the math. I mean, unless you, like, want to. I don't know why you would.
Distant fucking chain gang as they continue to dig.
Lockhart, you need to stop her. She's got to keep digging.
You're fine, Kaya.
So like it'll be fine.
Just tell her to shut up, man. She understands. Shut up.
You know, I hate to do this, but I feel like at a certain point, Lockhart might have turned the volume all the way down on that little headset.
Oh my god.
At least to where it's like a whisper, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like if she hears her name, cool, but let her dig her own grave there.
Mm-hmm. She probably like paddles like on a bit more about like theoretically how much ice cream she's going to be getting for Legacy versus herself versus Lockhart for like another 2 minutes or so. But like after no response, she just like stops.
You got it out of your system?
I thought the comms died. But yeah, I think so. Sorry, I don't know why I did that.
It seems like it's a way you cope.
Probably. I guess. I never really thought about it.
What I'm saying is, if that's the case, then you don't need apology.
Oh. Okay. Thanks for listening or hearing. Just dealing, I think, is a better word for it. So, thanks.
Anytime.
And thanks for following me.
I am only following your example.
So a taste of my own medicine?
That's putting it.
Either way, thanks. It means a lot. The company. I'm just really glad that you did, because I really appreciate, spending time with you and being your friend, and the fact that you're willing to listen to me drone on and on about it. So just thanks for everything, Crimson. Like, really.
Lockhart was not expecting her name, so it took her off guard a bit.
Oh, you gave permission. She gave permission.
She did. She did. like a weird thing of like Lockhart. So she's riding behind Kaya, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so her arms like loosened for a second, then tightened again. That's kind of the reaction because you can't really see her face.
Mm-hmm.
But she kind of, you can feel her turn her head towards, like, kind of away from you. And she's like, well, I'm learning it's what things do.
It's not picked up on the comms, but you can just feel the fucking sigh of relief. that was okay.
It's probably more felt than heard.
Yeah, no, it's not heard, it's felt. I just thought, oh, thank God. Yeah, it is what friends do. Or what, good friends do. Because, like, they're shitty friends that don't do that shit, but they don't really count as friends. Either way, thanks. Appreciate it.
On the other hand, too, you were gonna leave me with Legacy. Do you really think that would have ended well?
I mean, probably. Like, 9 times out of 10, yeah, would have been fine. Probably. Huh?
The sad attempt at humor was missed.
It's just like, I think so. I thought, everyone with friends dead, so... You gotta remember, Kaya's oblivious as fuck, man! She's so fucking up.
Lockhart would facepalm if she could.
Just forehead into the back of Kaya's shoulder.
Are you going to be okay? What's tonight?
I don't know. I'm trying to be. I think so. It was just a lot. I know Legs knows what she's talking about, but I don't. And I didn't really know how to help at all, really. I thought that I would just be making it worse by speaking, because I'm not that good at it. And then throw in traumatized drones or AI that grappling with the concept of what they are, and that just makes it really fucking complicated. So I just thought, Legs has got this. She's, fucking genius shit. I'll just go get ice cream. Because I shouldn't be getting a drink. Even though I want to, but I'm getting ice cream.
If you really won't get inebriated, I don't mind.
You don't mind what?
Driving.
Don't fucking enable her.
Ooh. There's like a tense in her shoulder that just like slowly relaxes as you kind of feel her weight shift a little bit as she like leans into a turn. And there's like a slight tilt of her head as she just like shakes it. I really, really appreciate the offer, and I can't believe I'm turning it down. But I probably shouldn't.
But will you?
I don't know. I mean, the plan is to get ice cream and then go straight home.
And that's why I think they need you over Legacy.
What do you mean?
You're responsible, and you care about them. You're not
But
gonna leave them high and dry.
yeah, look, Locke, it doesn't really matter how much I care about him if I can't help him.
You don't have to help them. You're helping them by just caring for them. By treating them like people.
Even if that just ends up confusing them even more. Because of all the shit they've been through and how they're processing everything.
Everything is not going to be fixed in a day. It's going to take time. But I do think treating them as they should be treated, as people, is the proper way to go about it. There's going to be some rough patches, because but it is the right thing to do. At least my opinion.
Okay, I never really thought about it like that. Because I do want to help him and do right by him, because they kind of got dealt a really fucking shitty hand. I just wish that it was easier. Like, I wish I could pick them all up ice cream, but I can't. Because they can't eat it. Most of them wouldn't even understand the gesture. And they struggle enough with normal people. So I'm worried I'm gonna fuck this up a lot, considering this is different. I can't.
Well,
Watch them, and when I'm not there would be you and Legs.
if you were to leave them with for, say, a day or two, how good of a job do you think I in your person? Do you think me as a person would be able to fill their needs or know what their needs are.
Is this a trick question? Because if it is, I'd like to know, because... Or are you looking for, like, an actual answer?
The point is, I don't know anything about Revolt or anything.
Yeah, but you'd, keep them safe. You'd listen to them. You might not know, like, if there's an emergency repair, how to do that, or how to walk them through figuring out how to move, like Legs did. But you wouldn't hurt them, and you'd make sure no one else did. You'd probably make sure no one, fucked with them or took advantage of them, used them in tests and shit.
Physically, perhaps, but not on a person.
I mean, I think on a personal level, you're like, fine. I feel like you do fine.
The
Probably.
point I'm trying to make is you're the most suited to take care of.
Maybe in the long run, but I'm probably gonna be buying Legs a lot of fucking Red Bull for the near future. Robin and Casey, at least. But thanks, Locke. I get what you're saying. I just know I'm gonna need help from both of yous. If you're, willing to give it. And if I can drive Legs.
Well, Legacy lives with all of you, so I don't think she has much of a choice.
Ah, true.
And if I'm hanging around, I don't mind lending a hand. If I'm in the air.
Yeah, if thanks. And I don't know, I'll have to figure out what they do like eventually once we get them, situated and used to and adjusted. So the equivalent of ice cream. Because, like, with Larry, I just get a fuck ton of fucking blocks and shit,
He just kind of nods.
Yeah, he turns my room into a maze every now and then.
He does enjoy building things, doesn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, look at who made him.
That point.
But yeah, we'll manage. And I imagine at this point is when they just pull to a stop in front of the ice cream place. They finally arrived.
Yeah, so you guys stop and get your ice cream.
Fill up the
After-
backpack. Kaya worked out the mathematical amount that can fit perfectly in the bag.
You fill up the backpack, but then you have to remember too. Fucking Lockhart's got a hand. She can hold a bag.
No, those hands have to be wrapped around Kaya for safety.
They can be, and they can still hold a bag.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
shit.
one hand
Oh,
holding
shit.
one end of the pint or a quart of ice cream, and then the other hand holding the other side.
It's like, see those little, like, throwaway shopping bags? Or not throwaway, but, like, reusable shopping bags there. And Kaya just calculates, and she's like, I can fit, like, 32 cubic inches of ice cream in there.
Freaking Kaya is autistic as hell.
I didn't... It's
I'm
not the
wrong.
intention. It wasn't the... I'm not saying you're wrong. That just wasn't the intention. Because I don't really know the autistic stereotypes.
Fucking autistic as hell, and you're just making her more and more autistic.
I don't know. This is just... Apparently...
Autism.
Apparently she's been bonked by the tism stick at some point. And if you just let her talk, she's just gonna dig herself into a hole. She's just not gonna stop unless you stop her. Or you just wear her out and just let her talk until she's done. But yes, they get the ultra chocolate for Legacy as thank you for babysitting, and is also future payment for helping with the drones. They get the pistachio for Lockhart. Imagine what Lockhart gets, like, what, 2 pints?
She gets one of the little personal ones. She's not big on ice cream.
Kaya just gets... What's her favorite? I wrote this down right here.
Basic bitch vanilla.
Nope.
What's
Her
that
favorite is
Rocky
actually
Road?
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan, yeah.
She's like a big fucking quart of that. A quart of the chocolate for Legacy. She probably picks up an extra little pint of pistachio to keep in the freezer. If the drones were children, she would have gotten a pack of fucking ice pops. But they're not.
Pop.
Yeah, like, she would have gotten those. However, they're not. They cannot eat.
Yet.
So, what do you mean yet?
Leave it to Kaya to figure out how to fucking let them eat.
New pet project for her on the side. But I imagine she picks up, like, a bunch of, like, little fucking toys, I guess. You know? Like, the little convenience store toys. She's like, she feels the need to get something for them while she's out. But they can't eat. So she turns to the little toys. And she gets a couple of, like one of, like, everything. Of, like, enough to, like, give them all something, you know?
Yeah, that's totally fine. You can grab a handful of, like, whatever fun little fidgety toys.
The equivalent of, like, fidget spinners.
Or like other fidget toys, like goo or like the squeezy thing.
Yeah, just
You know the
anything
one.
that they could, like, explore and play with and investigate, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe even a little fucking RC car for Robin.
So.
That would be really fucking cute. Just, like, give Robin an RC car and then give her, like, duct tape the controller to the top of it.
Yeah,
She's just driving
exactly.
herself around.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Amazing. Excuse me.
Yes, they return with ice cream for Legacy and toys.
Greeted by a chorus of mom.
Oh, God.
Larry is the only one who does not say it. Well, also, Casey does not say it. But you get a trifecta of drones from the three youngest, who all look at you and they're like, "Mom," in their scratchy little voices. But they don't say it like overjoyed. They look and like, "Oh yeah,
Factual.
that one."
Yes. Mom.
That didn't take long.
Kaya moves to just walk back out the door, but Lockhart's in the way.
Legacy is pleased with herself. I have got you your first ideas to help Casey and Robin out.
Pulls out notebook.
She just emails a copy of the fucking inspiration board.
Alright. That's what Kaya's doing tonight.
Perfect.
Probably not enough time to actually make anything, but enough time to design.
I will
and
say, if you want Kaya to pull an all-nighter, she can, with enough, because like I anticipate this being very rudimentary, enough for like a simple drone to get and just ambulatory ability from.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to make a set of legs for Robin to walk on, you could do that.
Mm-hmm. See, Kaya would be more than willing to pull an all-nighter. But also, by the way, hey, Legacy, Lockhart, is it cool if Lockhart stays the night? I already said yes. Thanks.
Just kind of like blinks for a second. Slow realization that maybe Sprite has a fucking point.
I feel like
The
Kaya would
inner
be much more
Sprite.
awkward about it.
The inner Sprite in the back of your mind just goes, "Told you. I told you."
I feel like Kaya would just like fumble with it a little bit because she's awkward as fuck if she gets the chance to talk. I feel like she just hands ice cream over as like a sort of bribe.
I don't. She wants to fucking stay. She can stay, but she has to deal with the baby drones in her room.
I'll just be on the couch.
Cool, your room.
There's a. Oh, okay. So there's, later we'll talk about it. Like we'll figure it out later. I got like ice cream for like all of you, all of us. Not they can't really eat, so but I got them toys. Look, just dump bag on table.
Lockhart will go get the bowl.
A few of the drones will come over and piddle around with the toys, grab some and move them around and entertain themselves with them. They are using them in less of a play way and more of a engineer and understand way.
Yeah, and that was the intention of here, explore. Here are things you can interact with. It's less toys to play and more like enrichment and things to interact with. But Kaya would want to pull an all-nighter. It's a matter of if the other two are going to let her.
I mean, Legacy would protest at first, but she's also not going to stop her either, because there's not any way that she can.
Lockhart's the type of person to let it go, but then at like 5 a.m. it's like, okay, lights off.
She just cuts the power to Kaya's lamp. Who's in the middle of soldering something. And like, wait, why isn't my soldering pen working?
She has had training on how to deal with fucking weird ass inventors.
I feel like Kat would only be a little upset about it because she was on a roll. But at that point, I feel like she wouldn't protest.
Lockhart's not the type to nag. He's the type to do.
She's a woman of action. Oh my god. So, half all-nighter, half-nighter.
Half all-nighter. Okay.
And
So
if
you
Kaya's
can make...
unconscious the next day, then she's not gonna be awake.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that either Legacy or Lockhart wanted to do if they wanted to pull an all-nighter or sleep? Or do in the interim, because Legacy had a lot of time in the interim while Kaya and Lockhart were out getting ice cream and convening.
I mean, aside from helping Robin and Casey, I don't know that she has a whole bunch of stuff that she would do in the interim. Probably because of Robin being fed what she assumes are just movies and shit, she would piddle around a little bit with Robin's programming in essentially unlock streaming. So that if Robin wants to, she can continue actually watch movies and TV shows and stuff. I don't know if she was watching movies and shit, or if it was just information about humans that was being given to her, or
you would... There's one bit of... You would have made a good head start on bonding with Robin. Robin is very responsive to you at this point, and is probably the most stable and mature of the drones. She is just unnerved and a little awkward on her not legs. But she does very distinctly have a penchant for being near or around Legacy. Yeah, and the other thing is, Casey, you would have learned something about Casey after, or not learned something about them, but after a while of talking to Casey, or kind of talking around Casey, because it's not as easy to just straight talk to them. Casey would ask, "Where was I before?"
Her answer would very much depend on if she has been able to explain to him in a way that he seems to at least comprehend the notion that him and the rest are the same, or from the same start.
Okay. If you don't mind, I wanna play this out before Lockhart and Kaya get back.
Okay.
You have this brief interaction. How would you try to explain this at first?
paranoid about it. Well, he's already asked of, like, am I the original Casey? And she's already said, you know, you're like them, but you're from, like, your base code is the same, like, siblings' genetic pool is the same.
True. True.
And so she probably would have, like, if he asked back, like, circled back around to that vague topic, you remember me saying that your codes are all the same. There's a notion. I don't. This is a little way beyond me. There's a notion that what makes anybody different is the things that they experience and the things that they know. So, Leo is the first one.
Mhm.
So Leo over there is the closest to essentially not having any experience, really, or very, very little. So he's kind of like close to a baby, a human baby. You know what a human baby is.
Yes.
And all of you have different amounts of experience. So all of you become more and more of what you are.
I'm like them, and they're like me.
Mm-hmm.
We're sort of like siblings. Are they people, or are they not?
Boy.
I feel like people. I think.
Fortunately, there's not a neat way to answer that. That depends on who you talk to. I think you are people. Kaya would think you are people. Most of our friends would say you are people. But some people will say that you are not because you don't have... You were made in a machine and not born.
Made and born. The distinction I don't understand. I'm not flesh, but I don't want to be flesh. It doesn't seem right to me.
It's a weird distinction, and maybe one day there won't be a distinction. Maybe all of you will live long enough to where there isn't a distinction. But as far as I'm aware, all of you are the very first, or some of the very first, of your kind. So we don't quite know how to conceptualize you.
I conceptualize myself. And I never knew how to do that before I had someone else who also thought. It's hard to tell if the person I'm talking to also thought, though. I don't think I dreamed, but if I did dream, I feel like I almost woke up before. That's what it feels like. Almost waking up. But this time I'm really awake. Right?
And Legacy nods slowly. Like, eyes have narrowed slightly. But there is nobody else to fucking say anything to that is not a machine. And just kind of like nods. There's... As you learned more, as you became more Casey, you were inevitably going to start growing beyond the box that you were put in. That's what I think was happening. But this is real and you are awake. And eventually you will start to understand what it is to be awake and not awake better.
I don't remember being not awake. And
Well, nobody remembers being not awake.
can you make me not awake? At least for a moment?
Probably? But I'm not going to unless Kaya is around in case I fuck something up.
Oh. Then I will wait.
Legacy nods. I understand a little bit of the programming that makes each of you you. But the, what did you call it, vessel that each of you are in? I am less experienced with making sure it is functioning properly.
I understand. I think it is like being a doctor.
Yeah.
Or not being a doctor, rather.
Pretty much. On some level, you understand the difference of doctor and, like, psychiatrist, right? One knows the brain, one knows the body.
Yes.
Kaya is the doctor. I am the psychiatry student.
I see. Then I would be a philosophy student or math student or biology student.
You can
Just
be any and all of them if you would like.
I will try. It's hard to organize all of my thoughts. Like being in one room here to talk, but I have to be in another room to know something. I never had to be in two rooms like that. I only ever had to be in one room before. I didn't even know I could talk.
Well, eventually it will become easier, and who knows, you might reorganize a bit, so it's less needing to be in different rooms and just going to a filing cabinet to know things. Staying in the room.
Thank you for being in this room with me. I hope this is where I get to stay permanently. Or where I get to stay long.
Well, nobody is going to make you do anything that you don't want to do unless you're trying to hurt somebody.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
Then you can stay in whatever room you want to. And, do whatever you want to in that room.
I understand. And I am sorry for my strange way of talking. You can't see me like I can see you. So you must forgive me for being slow.
The Legacy is just kind of like shakes her head a little bit. You're fine. This is surprisingly not one of the weirdest interactions I have ever had. She just like pats the top of his head and then looks towards Robin. You don't mind either, do you?
She goes to say something and then stops and then will turn herself sideways on the little skateboard and then scoot herself side to side in an attempt to shake her head. She has no neck, but she is making a point to try and emulate the behavior.
Lacey just kind of smirks. Yeah, see, she's good too.
Okay.
At least
And
this
then-
robot isn't trying to murder me.
True. Larry would fly over. Murderbot. I know him.
Wait, the fuck? Larry's not met Murderbot.
I believe Larry was with Kaya when Kaya went to save Lockhart on the highway.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true, but I thought so. I thought that was
Oh.
true.
Talking about Red, not
Red.
the K4 units.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's been multiple things that we've called Murderbot at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like Legacy just kind of like smirks. Yeah. We still gotta put you on a robot at some point.
Murder Larry.
Even if Kaya says no, I think it's a good idea.
Me too. Mega good idea. And now is right about when Kaya and Lockhart show up with an irresponsible amount of ice cream. Frankly, unreasonable amount of ice cream.
I feel like Kaya maximized the storage capacity for everything.
I would agree. I would be hard pressed to think that Kaya got anything less than a shitload of ice cream.
Yeah.
Now I'm just imagining
all-
Kaya being the fucking queen of like car Tetris on a road trip.
Oh, she would be.
All of the bags.
Perfectly fitting together. Knows exactly where every single thing is.
And they can only be put back into the car in that exact formation, because otherwise you're not getting everything in.
Mm-hmm. I imagine along with the other toys, she got like Legos. A treat for Larry.
Little boxy Legos.
Yeah. I imagine she's been like slowly accumulating Legos. Like she raided her old shit to see her old Legos.
See, this is, again, we're gonna have to take the fucking apartment map, and like one corner of the living room is just slowly filling with children's toys.
They use the Legos to build like a fucking like cul-de-sac. A mini little cul-de-sac in the fucking living room.
The toy cul-de-sac.
But yeah. Comes in, starts taking out the toys, gives the fucking easy breezy. Yeah, Lockhart can stay over, right? That's cool. Yeah, okay, thanks. As she hands Legacy her ice cream and pulls out a box of Legos. Starts opening toys. Just like that, we have what, 5 more children?
Right on time.
Mm-hmm.
Right on time before a huge, important thing happens.
Yep.
You have 5 new mouths to entertain.
Yeah. 5 new minds to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
5 new minds to nurture.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow Legacy is the one that they're choosing to nurture 2 of them. Legacy, who can't be trusted with the pet, it's like, okay, here's your, like, 12-year-olds. Teach them to be people.
Once you get Robin a set of legs, Robin will be able to deal with most of them. Probably.
We're not going to parentify Robin.
Robin will be a lot better suited to take care of some of them, or help take care of them.
We're gonna have to get a babysitter. Oh my god. Call up Kaya's parents, be like, hey.
And if they don't work, the only other one that can be trusted to not, like, sell them or, like, fuck them up is Voluska.
Who would go fucking mental, I think.
So it's like, hey, Voluska, we're just gonna, like, put them in the bedroom, we're gonna close it. You don't have to, like, just make sure they're not killing each other every, like, 30 minutes.
Yeah, every 30 minutes, do I have to count? I feel like we still want him to be friends with us. He's not an option.
No, it's just a question. It's just a question of the fucking number of booze bottles you have to buy. I would say Marcus, but Marcus, like, guilt trips us into going with us.
Yeah.
See, but we guilt trip back with, who else can we trust that's responsible and won't sell them out?
Right? Who else?
Reverse psychology.
Mm-hmm. Probably the only other person I imagine would be Cosmic. However, I don't know if he is equipped to handle all of them.
Cosmic can handle the babies.
Yeah.
Because Cosmic was the first one that Larry interacted with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Larry interacted with Cosmic before Larry interacted with Kaya.
Mm-hmm. So, like, babysitting, when we do important shit, I feel like Cosmic and someone else. Who can we call in for a favor?
What's the problem for future us?
That is a problem for future us.
The next problem you have on your plate, if you can call it a problem, would be the full dive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Legacy gets to have her chance to scrap with the full dive.
Oh boy.
So we can skip to the next day.
Yes.
And
if Kaya did a full, like, an all-nighter shit, Legacy's not waking her up. Legacy's just going.
She did a half-nighter.
Legacy's still
Lockhart forced her to bed at probably, like, what, 3 or 4?
I imagine Kaya half awake, holding machine parts in one hand and, like, a live soldering iron in the other hand. And not really doing anything, just in that half awake haze of, like, I gotta do something with these things in my hands. What was I doing? Oh, right. I was doing this. And then you start to do it, and you kind of slow down for a second. You're like, what am I doing again? And you're just, like, in that haze of tired hell when Lockhart catches you and turns off the soldering iron.
It's not working. The soldering isn't melting. Fuck.
Too cold.
You know what sounds not cold? A blanket.
Yes. But you will have a medium amount of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You, depending on what you do, you will have minuses or disadvantage on whatever particular attempts you try. But it probably won't be an issue. Probably.
Yeah, she gets coffee.
Yeah. You just caffeinate.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hesitate.
She's brewed 2 pots of coffee. One of them is going into a giant thermos that's going into her bag. The other is for everyone, including her, to have that morning.
Honestly, I think even with all of that, I feel like Legacy is up very early. And, like, out, not necessarily to Bengetti's, but just out. Probably if Lockhart, like, slept on the couch, is probably either wakes up Lockhart or is, like, up shortly after Lockhart, because I imagine Lockhart's a fairly early riser.
Yes, she is.
And I will say that, like, Legacy would have informed Marcus and Cosmic, partially because her and Cosmic had an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus would not let her hear the end of it if she did not tell him, though she would try to impress upon Marcus that he didn't need to be there. It's a fucking test run. So then it's on Marcus.
It goes in the group chat.
I'm gonna roll to see if Marcus will wake up early, because he's generally an early riser. But in this particular case, I imagine it is quite early. Okay. So if Marcus would be awake, just barely awake, to be like, are you already at Bengetti's? I'll meet you there. I'm good. I'm coming. Don't worry about it.
She probably goes on a run, picks up food, doesn't go back to the apartment, just goes straight to Bengetti's after she picks up food.
Is are Lockhart and Kaya going? Huh?
Obviously, Kaya would like to go. Kaya would like to go.
Uh-huh.
However, Legacy wakes up before Kaya does and leaves. And if she is not informed. And also, who's gonna watch the kids?
Larry will salute. I will watch everyone.
Lockhart will go because she, I believe, remember correctly, she promised to keep an eye over things. Bengetti needs supervision when it comes to full time. So
yeah, and Kaya did as much safety proofing as she can. However, if in case shit goes wrong, she wants to be there. Joe, can you be honest with me real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Is Larry capable and responsible enough to watch the fam?
Yes. Yeah. Larry is capable and competent enough that he can keep track of everyone without, like, any danger befalling them.
Lock the front door, they can't get out.
Yeah.
I will also point out, are Lockhart and Kaya, since we are now setting this the very next day, calm and reasonable enough to go to Bengetti's?
That's a good fucking question. I feel like Kaya is more self-focused on Legacy. She doesn't even think about that.
Yeah, and Lockhart is, she can hold it in, but she is also thinking, like, someone has to watch over Legacy if Kaya can't.
The fucking, if the two of you start some shit, Legacy is going to discover some violence that she did not know she had in her.
I solemnly swear.
She just wants to be in the digital realm.
Up to only good. Kaya would be able to understand that there is a time and a place, and that place and time is not when her best friend is in the fucking full dive. But yes, Kai would fucking, I guess, wake up later, and Legacy does. Shit, starts coffee, starts getting ready. Gets the house drone-proofed. She doesn't have to worry about, like, containers and shit of, like, bleach and stuff, because they're not, like, children.
Yeah.
But she does put, like, I don't know, electrical things that could shock them if they touch it away.
Throw a whole bunch of things into Kaya and Legacy's rooms, lock the doors.
Yep. Yeah, close the doors, bring out all the toys, bring out the fucking TV, all the fucking tablets are out and fully charged.
You have sufficiently child-proofed the home. It will be messy, but they will be unharmed.
That's all that fucking matters. Fucking time to get there and hold her tongue when she sees Bengetti.
So, Legacy, did you tell Marcus or Cosmic when you were aiming to be over there?
Not when necessarily, more so the day. Because I imagine the conversation like happened the day or two before.
Uh-huh.
It's like they would know, yeah, she's going over there on this day. So it'd be more on when they happen to arrive and if they are up early. Because I honestly imagine cyberpunk stuff, especially if we're talking like joking about like group chat things, kind of like Discord where you just see who's on. They see that she's like awake and doing shit. If they're like, Legacy is not usually up this early.
Well, the question is going to be if anyone else is up that early.
Exactly.
Including Bengetti.
Well, Bengetti has no choice because she will just walk in and wake his ass up. And you remember the thing that I messaged you about a bit ago?
Yes, I do.
If she's the first one there, she wants to do that.
Yeah. So, Bengetti is awake. You are saved by the dice. Or rather, Bengetti is saved by the dice, as a matter of fact.
She will be nice and have got him some sort of like... I imagine he likes sweet things.
On and off.
Some sort of like mocha drink, not too fancy, but also not black coffee. He has some sort of caffeinated beverage that she has brought as a like, I know it's early, but I'm also jumping into your experimental machine.
It's not like it's gonna be any like lighter or whatever in there. You could have leapt in and gone into it at like 2 o'clock. I gotta fucking change.
You realize that like the rest of the station runs on a standard 24-hour schedule, not whatever the fuck schedule you run on.
My schedule is fucking special
exactly.
and unique.
Fucked.
Better, optimized,
to
affected
you.
Even. Fuck off. God. Just hands on his face and does the really, really hard like face rub.
You want coffee or not?
Yes.
See? That's all you had to do.
Grab your hands.
Hands over the coffee. I try to be nice. And I get lectured. This is why we argue.
Alright. Fine. And whatever, I'll fucking do this shit. Okay. And he does like a stretch, a yawn, then sips a little bit of coffee, and will walk you into... They're in a mall ward. There we go. And we'll walk you into the lab. So everything looks about the same. But then Getty makes note, like, yeah, I cleaned up before you got here. It doesn't look any different. But it's cleaned up. The chair and everything is set up. Then Getty, like, kind of half awake, half asleep, walks over to one part of the lab and starts powering on some elements of the monitoring equipment and whatever. And while he's doing that, you can do your thing.
Okay. What do I need to roll?
Let me see. So maybe I should do this. So you would need, for the first thing, a quick roll. And you can add... I'll say you can add your hacking bonus to this. And then for the second one, make a clever roll and add your hacking to it. It would be sort of like a ghost roll.
First one, I'm gonna go ahead and use a prep on it.
Uh-huh.
There we go. The second one I will do normal. Critical success.
Damn. That is so many threes. Huh. Okay. Good to know. Then I'm gonna make note of these. So.
So, quick question here for
Mhm.
context. So, would Bengeti have also, like, installed a port for, like, her hacking suite? So she can use her programs and shit?
Not... Huh. I don't think he would have, but Kaya probably would have had the foresight to be like, if you're making this thing with legacy in mind, you have to put something in for her. And this is post the Kaya revamp of the fucking full dive chair.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that it does have a port for you to access your hacking suite. Which your hacking suite is part of your arm.
Yes.
So it, rather than like disconnecting part of your arm and plugging it in, you slot your arm into the armrest, and there are cables that, like you can pull up and around and plug into various parts of your arm so that it will access it. So it looks like some fucking oh my god, what is the anime? Ghost in the Shell ass, like millions of cords coming out of your arm.
Imagine, like, Legacy fucks around with it for a second and then gets into the chair and, like, kind of settles for a second. Ah, you actually made this thing more comfortable than it looked.
Well, yeah, if you have to fucking sit in it forever. I don't want to sit there and... Oh, okay, some of the cushioning and whatever is Kaya's stuff. Because, like, I was fine just sitting in a chair. But apparently the chair was not good. He does in quotation marks for your lower back and neck.
And you figured out the cooling?
Oh, yeah, sorta. I mean, I assume that it should be fine. Kaya looked at it and said basically there was like a cooling system that could be installed so that you don't have to like do a bunch of stuff, but I mean you might get sweaty.
Yeah, sweaty's one thing, overheating's a different thing.
Yeah, you won't overheat. I'm good at this, mind you.
Hey,
You're welcome.
I am just asking the questions because I saw what it was to begin with.
Yeah, well, fine. It was fine. I made it from scratch. So, obviously, gonna have some differences. Mostly from scratch, kinda.
Hey, I am not judging your work. I'm getting into it, aren't I? I'm just asking questions.
Crosses his arms and looks a little indignant still. You can see that he's not really, like, offended. He really is kind of like, in a way, trying to pick a fight. Because that just be how he is. Amy.
Aren't you supposed to like talking about your work, man?
I do like talking about my work. I do not like having my work questioned.
That's part of how you talk about your work is people ask questions.
Okay, well, you ask questions mainly. Or something.
Why?
Why what?
There are times I know I'm being a shit. This is not one of them.
Well, I was kind of preempting you being a shit by being a shit first.
Can we not?
He sighs. Fine. I'm sorry.
She just kind of nods. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Just FYI to you, I am 100% certain that Kaya and Lockhart are like 15 minutes behind me, and possibly Cosmic and Marcus, depending on how conscious they are.
Why did you come here alone before them? I figured they would want to be here too, because they don't trust me. He crosses his arms again.
If they didn't trust you, they would not have even let me leave the house. Lockhart was awake.
Huh.
Let's just say I'm a bit antsy about it. I got enough shit fucked over with me. Putting my brain on the line is not necessarily fun.
Oh, yeah, but your brain will be fine. I mean, like, there's not going to be, like, any danger to your brain or whatever. Your brain will be fine. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. You'll probably get bored while you're in there.
She kind of smirks to herself. Oh, I doubt that I'm gonna go up against one of my practice programs, see what it's like. Kind of pats her cybernetic arm.
Huh. Alright. I could probably find some common security software from, I don't know, I think I have a demo disc or something somewhere. And I could load it up so that you could have something to practice against too. So I have no way of, like, I mean, it's automated, so it just kind of goes. But you could try it.
If it's just from a demo desk, it should be something I just choose through, so I don't see why not.
Yeah, okay, well, fucking get in the fucking chair or whatever, I'll grab it. Lucky for you, Kai, I put all this extra plug stuff in attachment shit.
Yeah, she knows that I have my programs. You don't earn a name for yourself on the dark web without having at least a few toys.
He opens his mouth to say something, and then closes his mouth and just goes, Fair point. Alright, sit down. And he turns around and will walk across the room, and you hear, like, clattering of movement, and he shuffles around some things and starts to open a drawer and look, and then shut it, and then open a drawer, a different drawer, and look, and shut it. You can see you can hear, rather, he's looking for something. But if you are already in position, you can start the loading process.
Yes.
And I will say, like, as the loading process has started, Kaya and Lockhart, if you want to arrive together, you can. But if one of you is going to arrive before the other, they would do so now. Whoever is getting there first.
I mean, Lockhart was up first. Would she have waited for Kaya, or would she have just dipped?
I'm gonna leave it up to the dice this time.
You really what?
She left. She left a note, though.
Okay. So, question. Well, Kaya will be right behind you. So you get there first, Lockhart.
Hmm.
You walk in, you know how to get into Ben Geddes' home, so you don't actually even need to, like, knock and wake him up. Did you make any stops on your way over, or did you go straight there?
Probably made a couple stops. I imagine maybe, like, he left a little bit after Legacy, but was, like, running some errands, like, you know, maybe getting her suit done. You know, some like, just running personal errands kind of thing. So it's not like she was rushing over there or anything.
So, you get there, and as soon as you open the door, you can hear, like, rummaging around as Ben Geddes obviously doing his, like, dig around and scrounge and scavenge shit. Not an unusual noise to hear. But it, like, when you stroll into the lab, you can see that the helmet has already been lowered down onto Legacy's head, and she has already started the loading in process, which I forget how long it takes, but it takes a couple minutes, I believe. And it
5-10 minutes, something like that.
Yes, and it takes about twice as long to exit.
It took 40 minutes to exit, I thought, was the thing.
It's gotten shortened.
It got
Okay.
shortened
Got it.
dramatically, but it takes, I think, about for every minute you're in there, it takes 10 minutes to get out, or something like that. I can't remember. There was some factor I had written down. That is, I know Amy captured it in the notes somewhere.
Wait, what did I capture?
The log-in, log-out time of the chair.
Oh fuck, I don't remember.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere back there, but
Insert
that's fine.
this amount of time.
Yeah. So, would you do anything upon seeing that Lockhart?
That she's already in.
That she's already in, and basically, like, logging in the process of
You see the loading
going-
bar.
Yeah, you can basically see that there is the loading bar on the side.
She kind of would take in the loading bar and not have a huge reaction to that because it seems like it's all just starting. She'd look over to Vengetti and ask, shouldn't you be watching over that instead of rummaging around?
What? I'm looking for like an ice. Legacy wanted to fight it because there's nothing to really do in there. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I got an ice, so she could fight an ice or whatever. But the login process is fine. Can't really like hurt herself. Probably.
And what if there's some sort of glitch?
There'd be a glitch. There's never glitches.
Lockhart will just kind of sigh, because, like, there's always a chance. You know what I mean? That's kind of the thought. But she'll watch the progress, and what's the likelihood that Lockhart could find the disc that he's looking for?
Just finding something in a clutter pile. It could be random chance.
He has a higher vantage point.
True.
That's relying on him squirreling stuff away where it's advantageous to have a higher vantage point.
Yeah, she'd be watching the bar, but just kind of see what he's doing, give him a hand.
Roll me 2d6.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear the whip from the roll. I was like, what'd you roll?
I was sitting here like, did I DC?
No.
I still
So,
hear
okay.
music.
With a 9, yeah, I'll say that you are able to find like a pile of it. But you're not sure which one of them it is. There's just several discs that you find. But you
So-
find a pile of discs.
Alright, she'll grab them, put them in a, like, stack them, and kind of, like, hold them out to him. Maybe try looking through these.
Where did you find these? They were placed on top of like a pile of tech somewhere.
Literally over there.
What the fuck? What over there? Ben-Getty doesn't say that so much at you as he does like into the air, just ambient.
Yeah.
Like. But he will grab them out of your hands, and he takes one step away and then stops and turns around and says, "Thank you, Lockhart."
Kind of a little weirded out, but no problem.
He has been sufficiently scolded for the
nice.
morning.
He said he's trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for putting in the effort.
There's a moment where he struggles to understand if you're being sarcastic, and then thinks about it for a second, and you can see the realization of like, Lockhart doesn't do sarcasm, and then he turns around and walks away.
See, this is how we make him be nice, is somebody's got to be there and deal with his spicy early enough in the morning and just be like, fucking why, man? And he realizes he doesn't have to be spicy.
Oh, you were saying?
Yes, since you're making an effort to being nicer, might I suggest not picking a fight with Kaya when she gets here?
He turns around, and there's a moment where you can see an indignant part of him rear up in this thing of like, why would I pick a fight? I never pick fights. And then he doesn't. Turns around and inhales, and then exhales, just. Okay. I will not pick a fight with Kaya.
Good.
He narrows his eyes. But if Kaya picks a fight with me, I won't back down. Roll me a cool check.
Let him die on that hill. Let him die on that hill.
Where? Oh god, where's Lockhart? There she is. Cool, check. There he is. Cool.
So, best you can tell, Ben-Getty is somewhere between I just like arguing with Kaya and is it okay if I argue with Kaya so long as she starts it and I'm innocent? You're not sure which of those two it is.
I'm not going to stop you, either way. But she is rather upset with
What I do?
Don't start shit. Why'd you have to say upset with him?
That is not my place to discuss. I'm just giving you fair warning.
What? Then where is your place? This is my place.
Mm-hmm.
To ask where your place is and why you can't tell me.
Like I said, it is Kaya's business.
Do I do something? You can tell me if I did something. You have to tell me. Otherwise, I can't get better as a person.
Inadvertently, yes, you did.
What did I do inadvertently?
Like I said, I'm just giving you a warning. This is a discussion for the two of you.
You're gonna have to apologize again. He crosses his arms, and you can see he looks upset, but upset in the way that it's both like, I don't want to apologize, but also, I hope I did not make Kaya upset. Like, there is a part of him that is very, like, that is honestly mortified.
Lockhart kind of seeing him, like, I don't want to say the change in him, but seeing how it, like, is actually affecting him kind of thing. So, kind of stand up straight from where she was leaning and then put her hand on his shoulder. As long as you're sincere, I'm sure things will work.
He looks down, and you can see his eyes dart around on the floor. Yeah, it'll probably be fine. Probably. Like with Legacy's thing. You know, it's probably fine. Whatever. Anyway, I guess we should monitor her thing now. Because this disc will work, and he just holds up a random disc. Well, to you, it's random. Thanks for the warning.
Lockhart will nod.
He has a very, I think the word is pensive. A very pensive look on his face.
And that's not something too difficult, right? We haven't really tested. Oh, I haven't heard you all have tested different programs in the system on the full time.
I didn't hear everything you said, but I think you were talking about you haven't tested any programs in it?
Yeah. Like, don't do anything too difficult because we don't know what it'll do to her. Kind of in the full dive.
Yeah, nothing too difficult. Sure. That's easy enough.
Does he pick a different disc from the pile?
He looks at the pile, and you can see him, like, concentrate for a second as he tries to think. And he'll reach for another disc and then hesitate. And then just kind of like, and go with the disc he has in his hand.
If there's anything I can do to make this process easier, let me know. But if not, I'll be out of here. Well, I'll be over here.
He looks over at you and just goes, yeah. Oh, I don't know if you can do anything for this, but I'll keep you posted. Like I said, it's probably fun. He waves his hands again. But if anybody breaks in with a gun, or a sword, or whatever, you can crack them up. And he does like a boxing pose, a half-hearted boxing pose, and fakes a punch. You don't have to roll for it. I don't have to describe it to you. It's bad. It's a bad punch. He doesn't know how to punch.
Lockhart just kind of does that little half smile laugh.
Has Lockhart ever laughed in front of him?
Yeah.
Okay. Then.
But yeah. But she'll move over closer to the door, kind of taking his comment seriously.
Okay. Then as you move closer to the door, right about as you post up, coincidentally, the door opens. And Akaya emerges. -1 Larry.
I don't think she's expecting to see Lockhart as soon as he walks in. Was Lockhart like moving towards the door, or was she just already posted up?
She was posted.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna move you, Z.
Hmm.
You're here.
Ooh,
Dun, 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 dun.
thick and trippy, man.
Isn't it cool?
I want to see.
Too bad.
What a scream.
Fuck it. Kaya goes through the door, chugging
Kaya
coffee.
logs onto the stream.
Kaya comes to the door, chugging coffee. You're like, fuck, am I late?
From the distance. Yes.
Shit. Is she already in?
Yeah.
Fuck. She like walks in, closes the door behind her. There's a sup lock as she walks.
She just loaded in.
Okay, cool.
Kaya, when you walk in, there is a part of you that's like your Kaya sense is tingling because you're like, this is Ben-Getty, this is the full dive. There must be something off. If you want to roll to just get a
Kaya
quick
sense?
assessment, just a quick assessment of the room.
What do I roll?
You can roll a clever check, and let me see. I'll say you can add your engineering to it.
Okay.
Because it is like machinery and mechanical work.
Okay. I'd like to boost this, please.
You may.
Because I feel like this is important if you're letting me roll this.
Woof.
Wow.
Not a crit fail.
Nope.
But only because you boosted.
Yep. It's a good thing I boosted, huh?
Good thing you boosted. Yeah, boy. So you feel your Kaya sense tingling, and just on the chance that something is out of place, your eyes gloss over the room. You don't see anything that immediately catches your eye. Everything looks to be in order. All of the wires and cables and big boxes of technology and pieces of machinery in the chair, the helmet, everything's there. Legacy, her arm is plugged in, so Ben-Getty figured out that part. And she's got the coolant system is working, the loading bar is there. It seems to be in order. So it should be good. Right?
I don't like the way that you said that.
Why not?
I don't like I'm rolling. There's something wrong here. Kaya slams down the rest of her coffee. She is convinced.
just so you can all see it now. I will take you all here.
Ooh. Whoa.
You see it only for a moment. And then, Legacy, you...
Whoa.
I don't know how... Do you see the right page, Legacy?
The right page. I see the moving
Ah.
hallway.
This one. You want to be on this one.
A.
There we go.
So what happens when you separate the group?
And I have a sound for this. Where is it? When you first awaken, Legacy, you sit in the chair and the helmet closes over your head. And you don't close your eyes, but you get a sensation like closing your eyes. You feel the weight come over your eyelids, almost against your will. And right as you do, there is a weightlessness, like falling asleep, but you're wide awake. So you feel the sensation of like dropping in almost. And you fall, and as you look down at your hands and feet, you do have hands. You do have feet. But in a manner of speaking, you are Barbified insofar as you are completely naked, but you do not have any exposed parts of yourself. There is just a residual image of what your shape is. And you can feel around your like neck and your head and your face and your hair feels the same. Your face feels the same. You look at your arms, and your arm still has the feeling of being cybernetic, but it looks not like flesh, but more like almost like a ceramic, like a crisp, light-colored ceramic material. There's no cracks on it, but it is like a featureless, smooth surface. And when you touch your hands to it and like feel what your own skin is on your fingers, there is a cool sensation. Like when you touch the inside of a fridge and you feel the smooth, cold walls of the plastic. You feel that on yourself, but it's very clearly you. And the sensation is different. The sensation is like, it feels detached. Like you can tell that you are touching your arm. Your brain knows that. You register it. You can understand and interpret the information and know where your fingers are and how hard they are pressing down. But you don't feel it. Not if someone were to like poke you really hard. You could say like, you felt that. The most immediate thing that comes to mind is when Marcus's hand touches your arm. The feel of his mechanical fingers on your skin has a similar sort of sense, both in touching it and being touched by it. And initially you are in this
hallway, this falling hall, where on all sides of you there's movement, but where you are, as you look left and right, you're sort of falling horizontally, as if gravity was pulling you forward in an infinite hall of like darkness that has some sort of ambient light wherever you are, light enough that you can see the walls and ceiling and floor around you that you can't quite reach, but not bright enough that you can see all the way to the end of either parts of this long hallway. And eventually you land, and it's very sudden. Not so sudden that it hurts, but 1 second you are almost weightlessly gliding, like being pulled on a current, and the next moment you are both feet planted on the ground, stable, and the walls and the ceiling and the floor that were surrounding you before, that you were falling through, have now flipped and reoriented themselves. Above you is darkness. Below you is darkness. But ever so lightly, beneath your feet, you see an infinite expanse of stars, maybe? Motes of light, just tiny pinpricks of white-blue light, infinitely far away, but still visible, just barely, just barely visible. And where your feet touch the floor, what you feel underneath your feet, you can see around the edges of where your toes and heel are is a grid. And there is a distant part of you that recalls the first high school math lesson you probably ever got. That bit where you were looking at a coordinate plane, and the first time you are ever really asked to conceptualize infinity, where you look at a coordinate plane, and in every direction, up and down and left and right, it goes forever. And in the moment you look down and look up and look left and right and do a full 360, you can honestly say that you have seen infinity in this moment. There is only one thing to latch onto in the instant that you spin around and look at your surroundings. In this infinite expanse, you look and you notice where that grid extends from your feet and fades into white-blue light. You see something that initially is a bit unnerving to you, but once you place it, it is familiar. There is a hole in the ground. It's almost imperceptible. You can tell it's there by the lack of little starlight motes you can see. And aside from that hole, there is nothing and no one. Forever. And that is where we will leave it.